Well, this is extraordinary from Mumbai. What performance this has been in front of Delhi. They showed once again that they are a classic team. And Rohit Sharma, just wow, what a captaincy this has been. 0-0-0. That was the score at the start of it. Top order batsmen departed for duck. Ajinkya Rahane, Shikhar Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw. Nobody was able to open the account. Jasprit Bumrah 4 for 40 for Quinton de Kock, 50s for Ishan Kishan and Surya Kumar Yadav, 37 of 14 deliveries for Hardik Pandya. What an all-round showed. Absolutely sensational. They have made it to the finals of Indian T20 League. And to discuss all of it, I have of course been joined in with Yuvraj Dua. Yuvraj, what a performance!
It's as clinical as it gets, as comprehensive as it gets. Rohit Sharma has turned up on the day. He's marshaled his troops really well. Mumbai absolutely road rolling over Delhi, gave them absolutely no chance. Nowhere it looked like that Delhi were in with a chance, even with a slight chance. When Shikhar Dhawan, Ajinkya Rahane, and Prithvi Shaw departed, it looked like it was all over then and there. But then Marcus Stoinis gave them some hope, a ray of shining light for them. But Jasprit Bumrah, just hands down the best bowler in the world. He is unplayable at the moment. The way he started the tournament, he was a little expensive. But once he came into his groove, he became Jasprit Bumrah. He became himself. He's absolutely brilliant. He's absolutely fabulous. I don't know how these batsmen will figure out to play him, but Jasprit Bumrah, superstar. No other word for him. He's an absolute superstar, I think.
Absolutely. How can you record those figures? 4 overs, 14 for 4 wickets. And let me tell you, this is just special because in the last game, he was rested against Hyderabad. And just coming into the side and producing a performance like this was absolutely sensational. And at the same time, Trent Boult, unfortunately, he had to leave the field because of a groin injury. I don't know how serious it is. If it is, then Mumbai is seriously missing somebody who has produced some consistent performances. But even then, you have somebody like James Pattinson, Nathan Kotelai. I think that's the talk for some other day. But what a performance from Jasprit Bumrah. But I think it has been an all-round performance, Yuvraj. So impressive performance by Hardik Pandya. Krunal Pandya bowled well. Then you see Rahul Chahar went for runs, but even then, Kyron Pollard was good. Then Surya Kumar Yadav, Quinton de Kock, uh, you name it, and they were at their best. Ishan Kishan, what a performance!
That's the advantage of having most of your players in form. Whether you talk about Ishan Kishan, he got into the groove when he started opening the innings. Rohit Sharma is, of course, out of touch. He was out for a couple of games. Hardik Pandya has been striking the ball phenomenally well. There was a stat involving the last 4 overs which said that Hardik has scored 176 runs in the last 4 overs. Last 4 overs alone, that is. Striking at over 170 or 175 plus, actually. Such a clean striker of the ball. More often than not, hits the middle of the bat and hits them a long way. I don't know where he derives that power from. He's so lean. He's so lanky. I don't know where all that muscle comes from. It's timing. It's the bat speed. It's the intent. It's most importantly, it's the technique. How he keeps his head down and he doesn't raise his head till the ball has crossed the boundary ropes. The meeting point between bat and ball, that's where the head is so stable. And Hardik Pandya, he's just brutal at the moment in the fag, and he provided a great flourish in the end. Got them to 200. I don't know if it would have mattered if he wouldn't have played an innings like that, because Delhi tumbled like 9 pins. It was a horror show. It was just a sordid story for them, and Delhi
A
would like to
forgettable one.
the top order of Delhi would surely like to forget this performance once and for all. Prithvi Shaw, again, another duck. He's having horror time in this tournament. An absolute disaster, as we called it before the start of the game. Shreyas Iyer not performing. Rishabh Pant is also having a disastrous tournament because he might have scored runs, but his strike rate, I don't know if it's even above 120. I don't think so. It might be hovering around 105, 110. And again, as we mentioned before the game, Delhi have a lot of questions unanswered, they still go into the qualifier 2 with those questions unanswered, I think. And it's the wrong time for the bowlers to have lost form. And it didn't look good for Delhi today, but let's hope whoever they play in the qualifier 2, they can turn up with a better show in that match.
Absolutely, they need to do something different. They are looking out of the place at the moment. You talked about Rishabh Pant. What is he doing? I am really not understanding. He needs to do something different. He needs to try something different. Prithvi Shaw, who you replace him with? Ajinkya Rahane. Ajinkya Rahane is not performing himself. He produced the performance in the last game, but performances like these, I think Prithvi Shaw has also done. He has also scored a half century. He is also scoring once in 10 days. So he has been able to do that. They need something special at the top of the order, because if every time you just bring it to Shikhar Dhawan, every time you just bring it to somebody like Shreyas Iyer or a Marcus Stoinis to win games for you, that will not happen. I think there was an interesting thing which was said in the commentary box by Simon Dewell today. He said, how about they bring Shimron Hetmeyer again into the picture and keep aside Daniel Sams, because Daniel Sams is not winning you games with the ball, but Shimron Hetmeyer can win games with bat.
I agree with that actually, because Daniel Sams, it's not looking like his bowling is so rapid. He's not looking venomous with the ball. He was expensive in the couple of games he played. With bat in hand, I don't know. Again, it's a cost benefit analysis. Do you need him with the bat? That is the issue here. Shimron Hetmeyer is a fierce striker of the ball, and you need him down the order. I know he hasn't been in the best of forms, but on his day, he can strike the ball brutally. He can clear any boundary in the world. Daniel Sams is not used to these conditions at all. It looked like he was feeling out of place. He's more adept to those bouncy pitches where the bounce is a little true. Here, the bounce is different. His bowling, he it looked like he wanted to use those cutters to good effect, but it wasn't just coming off. He's not a Ravada. He's not here for you. He hasn't got pace, and his cutters are not the best. He can't deceive the batsman. So he's a good player. He's a good all rounder, but you need a different kind of ability, and I'd rather go with Shimron Hetmeyer. I agree with Dooley, as they call him.
136 runs in 12 overs between Kagiso Rabada, Anrek Nokia, and of course Daniel Sams.
They're leaking runs now. That's what I said when we started this live show, Vedant. The wrong time for the bowlers to lose steam.
Absolutely.
Ravada
Yeah.
has lost steam. If you remember, he had 21 wickets in 9 games,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. After that, the graph hasn't been the prettiest for him. He's taken wickets in a couple of games, maybe here and there, but more often than not, he's been expensive. He's just lost the game plan. I think once Delhi started losing games, everyone has lost that mindset, that winning mindset. Today, when I was watching the game for Malelo Bangwa, he was doing commentary and he said that Delhi used to attack before. In the first 9 games, they were an attacking side. But when they've entered the last phase of the tournament and in the playoffs as well, they are looking more defensive. They're trying to not get hit. They are trying too hard, almost to not get hit and not lose the game. And it was evident.
Yeah, please complete.
It was evident in the fact that they gave the new ball to Daniel Sams today,
Yeah.
because they thought that they'll finish his overs early on, and then in the important moments we'll use Anrik and Rabada. But that's not the case. They are specialist new ball bowlers. That's where you got to use them. And it was just looking like that they were on the defensive, they were on the back foot, and they were just trying not to get hit or not to lose important moments of the game, and it didn't look pretty, to be honest.
Absolutely. And to be very honest, it did not start that way. After the ninth game, they started to take things a little lightly. They started to take things a little casual way that, okay, we need just to win more, just to win or two more, and we will be through to the playoffs. And that's where they lost the momentum. If you see, in last 6 games, they have been able to win just one game. Four losses on the trot, then they won a game against Bangalore, and then now again against Mumbai, they have lost the game. And going into a game, so now let me tell you, there will be a mental theory which will be going behind it. Next game they will be playing against the winner of eliminator, who is actually coming into the game with a good momentum. and you don't have a momentum on your side. And just for, I'm just saying, I don't know whether Hyderabad will win or Bangalore. Say, suppose Hyderabad is able to win that game, then they are coming into qualifier 2 with 3-4 games under their tank, and they will be facing Delhi Capitals. They
Four
are
games.
all over the place. Yeah,
They
four
won.
games.
They were 4 wins out of 11 games. They won their last three. They won their last three.
Yes,
I
the last
think
three, and then it will
they
be
were
four.
they were 3 out of 10. So they've won 4 games already. And if they win one more, that'll be 5 games on the trot, and that then it'll be really, really hard to stop them on their tracks. Especially a team like Delhi, who's lost all steam at the moment. Their steam engine has derailed. It's not getting back on track, and that win against Bangalore was not the best of wins again, because you had beaten a side which has already lost momentum. They'd
Yeah.
also lost for 4 games out of their last 5. So
Yeah.
it's honestly not looking good for them. We thought it will be a better show from them today because of the win in the last match, but they continued from the form they had before that win, and they definitely need to re-strategize.
Absolutely, and to be very honest, on the other side, Mumbai is looking very strong. You name it, and everybody seems to be performing for them. Quinton de Kock, Rohit Sharma, and Kieron Pollard, the captain and the deputy captain, did not score even a single run, and after that, they were able to score 200 runs on the board. That's some performance, and that's the reason they have been able to dominate. And I'm so happy. It's not about that they are just defending champions. They ended this tournament, the league stage tournament, being the first at the first spot, and they actually continued that performance in the qualifiers as well, and that shows some class. That shows some class. Wow.
What do I always tell you, Vedant? The team which performs as a group, that team wins. It's a simple formula. Hardik Pandya doing his job. If you actually look at the score, there is no towering scores.
Yeah.
Suryakumar Yadav chipping in with 51, Ishan Kishan with 55, a late flourish, Hardik Pandya 37, Quinton de Kock did his job early on. Apart from that, everyone who batted knew their role. Surya Kumar Yadav knew how he had to bat. Hardik Pandya, he was striking cleanly. I was so impressed. It was lovely to watch how he was striking the ball. And this is why they're champions. I mean, it's in front of you. Other teams need to take a cue from them. I think you need to learn from a team like this. They might convert this to their fifth title. if
Honestly, now I'll be very sad if Mumbai is not able to win the title because they definitely deserve to
they
win.
deserve this, absolutely.
And now it's time to look at the scorecard once. Qualifier one that was played between Mumbai and Delhi, of course. Delhi batted first, 100 and sorry, Mumbai batted first, and they scored 200 runs in their quota of 20 overs. Quinton de Kock, 40 of 25 deliveries. Rohit Sharma departed on the first delivery, registered a golden duck, registered a a record that he would definitely wouldn't want to see. Most ducks in Indian T20 league, joint rather, because Harbhajan Singh and Parthiv Patel also have 13 ducks each. Surya Kumar Yadav was once again at his best, 51 of 38 deliveries, 6 boundaries and 2 sixes. Ishan Kishan, unbeaten half century, 55 of 30 deliveries, 4 boundaries and 3 sixes. He was needed there, and he produced one memorable innings for himself and for the team. Another duck for Kieron Pollard. Then Krunal Pandya, 13 of 10, managed a 6 but couldn't continue. But his brother, his younger brother, 37 of 14 deliveries, 5 massive sixes, told everyone that though he is playing as a proper batsman, but he will do whatever it is required to help his side win the games. And 37 of 14 deliveries was one such performance by him. If you look at Delhi's bowling card, there's not much to look at. Daniel Sams, 4 overs, 44s, couldn't pick a wicket. Ravi Chandran Ashwin was the pick of the bowlers, of course. 4 overs, 29, and picked 3 crucial wickets of course, Quinton de Kock, Rohit Sharma, and Kieron Pollard. Kagiso Rabada, not much to look at. 4 overs, 42. Akshar Patel, 3 overs, 27. Henrik Nortje, 4 overs, 50 for 1. Marcus Stoinis, 1 over, 5 runs and a wicket. I think he had a good day. his individual performance was really good. Delhi, on the other hand, 148, 143 for the loss of 8 wickets, of course. Prithvi Shaw, Shikhar Dhawan, Ajinkya Rahane all registered a duck. Then, of course, Shreyas Iyer and Marcus Stoinis tried to build a partnership in the middle, but Shreyas Iyer, 12 of 8 deliveries and couldn't continue. A superb catch by Rohit Sharma, of course. Marcus Stoinis, 65 of 46 deliveries. When he, along with Akshar Patel, were batting, it looked like we might see a turnaround. But then, of course, Marcus Stoinis got out. A beautiful delivery by Jasprit Bumrah, of course. Akshar Patel, 42 of 33 deliveries. Would want to talk about him at length. Daniel Sams registered dug again. Kagiso Rabada, 15 of 15. He couldn't do much. Anrik did not open his account, did not face a delivery either. Then if you look, Trent Boult, 2 overs, 1 made in 9 runs, 2 wickets. Unfortunately, he couldn't continue. But I think it should not be that serious because Mumbai would be needing him one more time in the final on November 10. They have a 4-day break. So let's see if he is able to recover. Jasprit Bumrah, 4 overs, 1 made in 14 runs and 4 wickets. Krunal Pandya, 4 overs, 22 and picked a wicket. Nathan Coulter-Nile was also good, 4 overs, 27. Karen Pollard, a little expensive, 4 overs, 36. But I think Rohit Sharma would take that. And Rahul Chahar bowled just 2 overs, very expensive, 35 runs. But at the end of it, Mumbai was able to win the game comprehensively by 57 runs. Wow.
Clinical as it gets. And there are a couple of performances I'd actually like to talk about. First is, I think, Jasprit Bumrah. It's actually really overwhelming when you watch someone bowl like this. It's almost like you feel that it shouldn't be allowed. Because the way he was bowling, it just looked like it's unplayable. How do you play this guy? Wherever he bowls. He bowls you a Yorker, you can't play that. His short ball is absolutely brutal. It's so tough to face. Then he bowls in the slot. It's so quick. It skids on from the pitch. You can't play that. Your bat doesn't get down in time. Marcus Stoinis, he was absolutely bamboozled. His
Yeah.
bat didn't come down in time, and it went past him before he knew it. It was fabulous to watch. I was actually waiting for his 5th wicket in the last over. And the other player I'd like to talk about is Akshar Patel. How good was he today? 42 of 33, 2 fours and 3 sixes, and 3 huge maximums, not small ones. So again, such a lanky lad, such a skinny lad hitting such big sixes. Maybe they should bat with him up the order
I
rather
think
than.
Akshar Patel is proving everybody wrong because when Akshar Patel came into this tournament, not many were expecting him to deliver the way he did. And now Akshar Patel is performing with the ball, with the bat, and in the field as well. So he's an all round cricketer. And I think we wouldn't have been able to see him that closely if Amit Mishra would have played the tournament. So I think that's the very good sign for Akshar Patel. Blessing in disguise, I would say. And Akshar Patel actually grabbed the opportunity, showed his class,
With both
and
hands. He's grabbing all opportunity. He's
yeah.
grabbing all opportunities with both hands.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing, and he would also be disappointed that he wasn't selected for the Indian side. But ample amount of opportunities available now. Couple of players actually: Akshar Patel, Surya Kumar Yadav. He's always there. He's always there for you.
Even Ishan Kishan. I was talking
Even
about
Sanch.
Atul Padi as well. Why Ishan Kishan is not getting the opportunities? I think now it will be time that probably you might be looking at KL Rahul, who can play as a proper wicketkeeper in future, and you can probably have Ishan Kishan in the 50-over format, Sanju Samson in the 20-over format, and Riddhiman Saha in the test over format. So you need to give some opportunities to these players. But what happens is we saw in the MS Dhoni era as well. There might be some good wicket keepers around, but somebody seems to be so good that others don't get a chance. We saw it with Parthiv, we saw it with Dinesh Karthik, Naman Oja. No one was able to come forward, and that was because MS was leading it from the front. But I would definitely want that this character should be tested once at the highest level.
Actually, there is a question about this. I think so. Sanju Samson has been selected so far. First of all, I'd like to address the fact that I don't think KL Rahul can be a permanent wicketkeeper in the long run. He can do it in the limited overs format, but
Rahul Dravid. He can act Rahul Dravid, but he
Yeah,
cannot.
yeah, exactly that. I think that's a really good analogy between these two. Again, Rahul Dravid was not the most permanent of keepers, not the best of techniques. Again, KL Rahul doesn't look like a full-fledged keeper to me. He can do the job for you, maybe in the limited overs format. I won't be too sure about him in 50-over cricket as well. Ishan Kishan, as far as Ishan Kishan goes, I still don't think he's such a furnished product for international cricket, because just the temperament is lacking. I think he just gets a little bit impatient. I
I
think
think
his
if we can give Rishabh Pant so many opportunities, why can't we give somebody like Ishan Kishan, go out there, express yourself, and you never know, he might turn out to be a good one.
That's right. If I consider Ishan Kishan as an isolated product and not compare with Rishabh Pant, then I think he still lacks that temperament. He still doesn't have that patience. I have actually started comparing every contender for international cricket to KL Rahul. The kind of cricketer KL Rahul is, he's got the patience, he's got the technique, he's got the big hitting ability. He can actually do every job for you. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about wicket keeping or batting. I'm talking how he can handle situations so calm under pressure. He knows what he has to do. If even if he loses games, he's very calm. It's the temperament is the word, I think, and KL it, and he should actually be the template for everyone right now to gain entry into the Indian side. Let's see if they can follow his footsteps and make a name for themselves as well. Not just be a KL Rahul, a follower of KL Rahul, but bring up their name as well.
Absolutely, Ishan Kishan would want to be Ishan Kishan. There is one stat which has obviously been shared by the statistician of Sports Tiger. He's saying that Delhi records in playoffs and semi-finals. So in 2008, they lost against Rajasthan. In 2009, they again made it, but they lost against Deccan Chargers, the Hyderabad side. In 2012, they lost the first qualifier against Kolkata, and then lost the second qualifier, and to I think he and in the 2019 season they won the eliminator against Hyderabad. Then they again lost against Chennai. So I think there seems to be an issue with them when it comes to playoffs. They look absolutely different team to what they are in the league stages. I think somebody needs to tell them that go in the playoffs as if you are playing league stage.
it the only explanation for that is they don't know how to play in the knockout stages. That's it. They are out of sorts. They lose themselves. They don't know how to react to knockout games, pressure games, and that's why semi-final they've lost. The two semi-finals, two qualifiers. They've just won the sole eliminator when
Yeah.
they were actually staring down the barrel. When they knew that if they lose, they'll be knocked out. So you should maybe tell them in the qualifiers or semi qualifiers also. They've lost two qualifiers now.
Yeah.
Maybe they think that we got another chance, so we can stroll. We can have a stroll in the park in this match, as if we're not playing a knockout game. And they won that eliminator. I actually remember this match, but they again lost the qualifier too. So not a good record in the qualifiers. Let's hope they can again put up a better show in the qualifier too.
Absolutely. And now I think it's time to look at the best tweets of the game. The first one is coming from Mufadal Vora. He says Mumbai are capable of scoring almost 100 runs in final 6 overs and taking 3 wickets for 0 runs in the same match. Team of IPL 2020. It's their trophy this season.
It is the trophy this
I
season,
think
without a doubt.
nothing to say because we totally agree to it.
I think he's referring to the fact that they've already won the trophy, maybe because what about a show? First 6 overs, they were 60 odd runs. I don't remember exactly, 53, I think. Then 0 for 3. I don't know if it was Mumbai or was it Delhi's poor batting. Maybe it was a mix of both. But again, how Trent, Boult, Jasprit, Bumrah at the top of the order for you is just an icing on top of the cake, or a cherry on the top of the cake. So yeah, this is what I said before the match. Actually, Vedant, if you remember, they
Yeah.
have to deal with uh, Jasprit Bumrah and Trent Boult very prudently. Even if they don't get runs in the first 6 overs, they're 36 or 40 for 0 down. They will take it. But today, scoreboard pressure was there. It was 200 on the board. That of course, first ball is different. You're not looking to hit the first ball out of the park or throw the kitchen sink at it, but it was the brilliance of Trent Boult and Jasprit Bumrah that got them in the end.
Absolutely. And the second tweet is by Abhinandan. He's saying, can't blame Shreyas Iyer. He looked the best in whatever T20 he has played so far. Only if he had come at number 3 with a good opening combo. Still feel they need Pant or Harshal as opener. Get back Heitmeyer, Lamichane or Dubey in the blow bowling unit from somewhere. If Sandeep comes in, then they need another overseas to go out. And if
Why
you want
not?
to hit my,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Continue.
I'm
Continue.
saying that if Hetmeyer also comes in, then who is going out? So I think this combination is not possible, but I would definitely want to see somebody like Hetmeyer coming into the side, Daniel Sams go out, Marcus Stoinis to bowl all 4 overs. They need to back 5 of them to bowl 20 overs. One needs to be Akshar Patel, Ravichandran Ashwin, Anrek, Rabada, and Marcus Stoinis. So these are my 5 bowlers. I play Shimron Hetmeyer as my number 5 batsman, and then I play Ajinkya Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan at the top of the order as openers. Shreyas Iyer at number 3. Number 4, Rishabh Pant. Number 5, Shimron Hetmeyer. Number 6, Marcus Stoinis. And then 5 bowlers.
I might not be surprised if I see Lamichane in place of Daniel Sams, because he's almost performing like
Then
a.
aren't you expecting a lot out of your all Indian batsmen who are not performing?
I think
I
so.
mean, give me one Indian batsman who is performing for Delhi.
And when you said that, it reminded me of reading this tweet again. Can't blame Shreyas. I think you can. He looked the best in whatever T20s he's played so far. I don't think that's entirely true, because he did look good whenever he was batting, but he threw away so many chances. So many times he's got settled at the crease, he's got his eye in, but failed to carry on till the end, failed to provide his team with a good score. He's failed to cash in on almost all the chances he's got so far. I can only remember one substantial innings from him, actually 88 in Sharjah. Apart from that, I don't actually remember a substantial innings from him.
What will be going around Mumbai, Delhi camp, to be very honest? What will Ricky Ponting go in the dressing room and say? What will Mohammad Kaif say? I think everybody know where they are going wrong. Now it's just time to get that thought into implementation. And I think if Delhi is not able to do this season, I don't know when they will be able to do that. I think they came very close in 2019. They have come so close in 2020. They have shown what they are capable of. And if you are not able to pull off twice in 2 seasons, then I think that's a big question mark on players, but not at management.
You wouldn't want to say much before your next game, of course, at this juncture of the tournament. Whether it's Ricky Ponting, it's Mohammad Kaif, you wouldn't want to demotivate your boys at this point of time. But again, you'll also have to rectify wrongs. That's not an option for you. You can't just live in a dreamy world where you know everything is right. You have to tell something to your lads, tell them where they're going wrong, but again, you can't maybe scold them or anything, because that will demotivate them before the next game. So let's see. I think Mohammad Kaif, Vijay Dahiya, Ricky Ponting, they would be very efficient with handling such a huge squad, and they would know what to do. And I think they're better off doing what they have to or what they want to do.
Absolutely, and Mumbai will be playing. They are the first team to make it to the Indian T20 League 2020 finals. It will be interesting to see if it's Delhi, Hyderabad, or Bangalore who will be playing against them on November 10 in Dubai International Stadium. It will be very interesting to see as what happens in the tournament from here, because Hyderabad will be playing against Bangalore in the eliminator that will be played at Abu Dhabi, and it will be very interesting to see as which team comes on top, because Hyderabad, as Yuvraj mentioned, 4 games, 4 wins on the trot, and Bangalore, on the other hand, 4 losses on the trot. So it will be interesting to see as which team can go out there, express themselves, and register that most important win. Because you lose from there, you are going back home. You win, you play against Delhi, and Delhi is looking weak. So it looks like you're just preparing for that all important final against Mumbai. It will be very interesting to see as what happens. We will be previewing that game tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the match day live, so you need not to go anywhere. Keep watching Sports Tiger. We totally loved bringing all the action on your way. So keep watching Sports Tiger, enjoy the sport, and it's a good night from all of us here at Sports Tiger.